We are live from the back pasture. Kendra here with Hola. And we've had a great week at Stall High. With all of our coaches, we've had a lot of discussions about this particular mare this week. Last week was her busiest schedule thus far. She's a finished barrel horse, but that doesn't necessarily make her a seasoned barrel horse. She just started competing early last year. I did take her to some rodeos. We went to 3 jackpots starting in March for 2022, and then we entered 4 pro rodeos. I was very happy with how she handled it. It's really windy in North Texas tonight, guys. But that was a lot. That was a lot of miles for her personally. That was the biggest road trip she's had. 3 rodeos within a week. We went to Lufkin, Texas, then to Athens, Texas, and then to Purcell, Oklahoma. Well, she came home and she learned a lot. She wasn't in the best of moods by Saturday morning. Our last rodeo was Friday a week ago. It's now Friday evening. And I could just tell, I was watching my mare. She's typically always in a really good mood. She's always got a real sweet look to her eye and real interested. She's not pesky, but she's very considerate and very interested in me and other people around her. Well, I noticed Saturday she was tired. She was kind of crabby, and it's not characteristic. So I gave her Saturday off. I gave her Sunday off. I watched her. She still just seemed a little bit, I watched her when I would pet on her and rub on her back and her belly. She just didn't enjoy it as much. I thought, well, I'll give her another day off. So she had Monday off. I rode her very lightly on Tuesday at a walk. We came out and just walked the back pasture. She had Thursday off, and then I rode her last night briefly, probably for 30 minutes. There we go, big deep sigh. And then by tonight, so I hope this helps someone. I really believe it will, just to establish your game plan and be able to get ready for the next rodeo. Well, she came out feeling 10 feet tall and bulletproof. She was itchy and just, had a little spring in her step since the moment we left the barn. You can understand that when you're starting out. But after you've been riding for 20, 30, 40 minutes, that gets old. And so she was just real watchy. And again, that's kind of a double-edged sword. I can respect that. I want my horses crisp and light and alert, but I sure don't want them to pull on my hands, ever. That's like a huge no-no in my book. I don't want to pull on them, and I expect the same respect in return. So she was just a little jumpy, watchy looking, kind of hunting an excuse to act fresh. So we spent quite a bit of time over in that corner of the field this evening, and we long trotted, and we lowed, and we long trotted, and we lowed, and she broke a considerable sweat. And that's good for her. Sometimes horses just need to get their endorphins out. They need to get rid of that built up energy inside their muscles. It's like getting in the gym and lifting weights for them. They've got to blow some steam out mentally and physically. It's good for them. So now that we've been going for a little over an hour, she's much better. Sometimes, guys, just quiet pasture time, even though it might frustrate you, and you might get tired of having to remind them, slow down, hand them the rein, they speed up, slow down. As soon as you hand them the rein, it seems like they're ready to speed up again. Sometimes that process seems like you'll never outgrow it, you'll never get through it. Well, you will. Just be patient and ride it out. So now I'm happy that she feels great. She's showing me she feels great. She's really, really light on her feet, and she's showing me that she's developing into that edginess. And I don't mind edgy, as long as it's something that we can channel. We can channel her energy and keep her mind focused. We had great conversations at Stall High this week. Matt, the big debate this week was whether we go on to Guyman, Oklahoma with this mare, which is a higher level rodeo for her. It would be a bigger arena than she's ever run in, and it would be further away from home. So it would take me away from work at Stall High, and obviously cost a little more fuel to get up there. Or I entered Carthage, Texas for the same weekend. That's closer to home. It's a smaller pen. It's sandy, but they always put a lot of water on it. So it's a good pen to run in. So Matt's first assessment was I rode a little different than I did at the jackpot. So once I got to the rodeo, I smashed on the gas pedal a little bit. He said, back off, let her work. Don't rush her. Okay. James Davidson watched her on Wednesday night. He watched all of our videos. Same thing. He said, Kendra, you're not going to break the jar to get the penny, but if you press before she really understands the flow of her feet at that new speed, you're going to tarnish the jar a little bit. I believe that's the way he said it. Okay. That took a lot of pressure off me. Just go and keep enjoying the ride. Keep enjoying the horse and don't feel like I have to teach her to run. That's what was in my mind. Not necessarily that we have to be competitive. She's still green on the pro level. But in my mind, I was thinking, well, it's time to teach her how to run. James said, no, she'll put that together. He said, I promise you, they go back to the stall and they think about it. Words of wisdom. Then we talked to Ben Johns. That was last night. He's our coach on Thursday nights. He teaches the mental aspect of sports, specifically rodeo, whether it's bull riding or barrel racing or whatever event you do. So we talked about how that is very tempting. Our own adrenaline gets to kicking. It's very tempting to want to go a little bit faster or ride just a little bit more assertive or a little bit more aggressive because it's fun and you think I'm taking full advantage of this moment. But again, sometimes that's actually the stumbling block and that's what slows you down because you get ahead of the animal. And then tonight, Ronnie Clampett was our coach and he has decades of experience in the saddle. So he teaches rider responsibility. And he agreed with the team. And the one thing I told Ronnie tonight, he really changed my outlook, my entire outlook that I've had my entire life as a trainer. Yes, we can finish a horse in less than a year, but finishing and seasoning to a very competitive, very high level competitor, that's not going to happen in a year. It's possible. However, it's not probable. And I wish that someone had explained that to me very, very early, at an early age. That would have saved me so much disappointment and me being too hard and too critical of horses. It really takes 3 years to season at the highest level. Well, not even at the highest level, but at a high level. If you want to get to the highest level, you're looking at longer than a 3-year commitment with that horse. So if you need help with your own horse, reach out to us. You can take a free test ride of the online training at stallhighnetwork.com. You can email us, email my sister-in-law, Lori. She takes care of everything on the inside of our app, Stall High, and within Stall High Network. So you can find Lori at stallhighnetwork.com. And if you have questions about your horse, there's another .com you can go to. You can go to askstallhigh.com. There's a short questionnaire where you can give us your email address and ask a question. What do you need help with? That's what we're here for. Y'all have a great evening. Thanks for following my YouTube channel, and thanks for joining us at Stall High and stallhighnetwork.com. Kendra and Ola here, wishing y'all a great weekend. Look at me getting stumbled over my words. Ola says, good night, y'all. It's a pretty evening. Everybody take care, and we'll see you soon.